Meanwhile, on Krakoa... but Strife has grown so powerful because I wasn't there to fight him.
So, we are under serious threat from your doppelganger. Oh, it's after 5.
Meanwhile, on the moon... Emma, what are you doing here? You know tonight is my night with Cyclops. I mean, if you want to have Wolverine, have a crack at him, but he's mine tonight. Are you... Honey, are you drinking?
It's incredible that we can breathe up here, dear. Oh, shut up. It's after 5.
Meanwhile, a few days later on a battlefield in Russia to protect mutant kind. Oh my god! Turn into diamond form! We are under attack! We need to
to me. It's after 5.
Meanwhile, at the Hellfire Gala... Psst! Hey, it's me, Kitty. Emma, didn't you say you wanted to give a speech? You are just
I'm
stumbling
about
around.
to.
Okay, are you drunk?
Yes. It's after 5! Now it's time for my speech. You'll be swell.
Oh, shit.
You'll be great.
Oh, someone
Gonna
bring her
have the
down.
whole
Someone get
world
her.
on a plate.
Someone get her.
Starting
Jumbo,
here,
Pull her
starting
costume off or
now. Honey, Astrid Bloom? No.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 178 of Comic Book Queers. CBQ Legacy in the house, and not only am I, EvilJeff, in the house, but so is my co-host, Brett.
Hi, EvilJeff.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of comics today because there's no new Marvel shows. So in that absence, in our utter depression, we just read comic books.
And we did all TV last week, so we'll do all comics. And then some TV.
And we're going to get really gay. We're going to get super gay today. And
a lot of gay stuff.
And I think what's the best way to get gay with the X-Men than talking about fashion? Hit it!
I want your ass.
All right. So, there's been a book released.
Come on!
There has been a book released of all of the Hellfire Gala fashions. I've even read some articles of like best dressed, worst dressed.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
What's the consensus out there?
I think there's a consensus that Emma and Colossus are the top two. Colossus is just like with his beard.
That's a whole other
just
level.
hot.
With the pecs, the pectacles.
I mean, there's Silver Daddy, and then there's
fur.
literally your skin is Silver Daddy. Like, come on.
I mean, it's like hot Russian monarch.
Yeah. Trend alert. It's all about shiny skin and draping fabrics. I mean, who are some of your favorites that stand out to you? I mean, Emma, her 3 outfits are amazing.
Oh,
Colossus
Emma,
is amazing.
forget it.
Who else did you think that you really like?
Mystique with her raven feathers everywhere.
That was great.
Gorgeous.
I loved Prodigy kind of pulling a Billy Porter. Like
Prodigy is a little androgynous,
yes.
as is
iBoy.
Yes. We love to see it.
Is iBoy bi now? I feel like iBoy is just hanging around with all bisexuals.
I think so.
I guess I am too.
I think so. Listen, I think all of X Factor looks incredible.
Yes.
Like, even Kyle.
Ugh.
Kyle looks amazing.
We're not talking about non-mutants.
All right, North Star looks amazing. I gotta say, I really like Madrox. Like, there's some weird, like, Silver Age superhero thing going on.
Yeah.
I kind of dig that.
Let's talk about... okay, go ahead. Is there someone else you liked?
My ultimate favorite, though, is actually Jamie Braddock.
Oh, wow.
It's really pushing the envelope. It's really fashion forward. It's a wonderful take on his powers, how he sees lines everywhere. He's just lines.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's using his powers to give him that look or if it's just like makeup and fabric, but it is the only one that I think is truly fashion forward in the Krakoan sense.
Well, let's talk about some that we thought didn't cut the mustard.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Mr. Blackwell? Is that... Remember that guy who had the list? Like the worst dress list, best dress list?
Oh,
Mr.
is it?
Blackwell's
Yes,
list.
yes.
That's Mr. Blackwell, then.
Yes. Who is, like, Betsy Braddock?
I love it.
You like Betsy Braddock's?
I love
don't.
it. It's Pip.
It's too short. I think it needed to be a full-length gown.
Okay.
What about who else did I know? I loved Storm's. I did not like
Storm is incredible.
Dazzler's is way too casual.
Oh God, phoned in.
Dazzler, what is going on?
It is phoned in.
Especially she could have had some bejeweled thing to sparkle all of the reflections.
So much. It is so phoned in. Fuck that. Fuck that. I love Penance and Rachel Summers, aka M and Prestige. I don't even know what to call these particular characters anymore. But I like that they took their trauma and made it fashion.
Yes, like that with her, she has her fascinator hat that looks like Penance. Rachel has like her is basically
her
being
hound
like
outfit.
Her hound outfit. I felt whatchamacallits is really boring. Like Megan.
Yeah, Gloriana.
Boring.
It's expected. It's predictable.
I also feel Iceman's is weird.
Iceman's is if you're going to do drag, like do good drag.
Yeah. Now is also why is Dazzler in Way of X? Is Dazzler going to be part of Way of X?
Maybe. She was already in issue 1. She was drinking a martini.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm like Joseph. I love me an amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and so does Everett Thomas, aka Sync.
Sync. Oh my God, they are trying to make Sync happen. They're trying to.
I'm here for it.
Oh, I am too. But I just love that it's like, let's just take someone and we're gonna like pull. He's like the Pixie of the late 2000s.
Yes. We're gonna try Sync now.
I'm excited. When does the Hellfire Gala start?
June.
Okay. I love
Pyro and his flamenco.
I don't like Sunspot.
I don't like Sunspot. Pixie is very disappointing. I do love that husbands Charles Xavier and Eric Lensher have the matching white and gold.
Yeah.
I love that we're including Furnace Chest Cora, who I really want to meet Chamber.
Wait, who's that?
Cora, the new character, the new assassin to replace
right.
Fabian Cortez.
Yes.
She's in there with like a cute blonde bob.
Oh, wait, there's other outfits of Dazzler? I didn't know she had more than one outfit.
What are you talking about?
Oh, she has 2 other outfits.
Where?
Just look up Dazzler Hellfire Gala outfits. She has
is it going to be fan art?
Oh, is it fan art?
Fan art. Ew.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Well, someone if it is, someone did a full-length gown version of her disco outfit, which is better.
It's great.
Than what she is wearing.
Yeah, it's fan art, but I like it better than what she has.
I didn't even think about people just doing fan art of the.
Oh, yeah, so many.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Magnetos is boring.
Magnetos is boring. I love
Cyclops
Frenzy.
is awful.
Cyclops is awful. Well, is it in Cable? He's like, don't give me anything too crazy. You know who I love? Karma.
Karma with the pink?
Yeah, her power.
Yeah.
It's like her power.
Yeah.
I love WizKid. I love Manifold. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Monarch's my fave. I'm sorry. Jubilee, nice try. Go home. Wolverine didn't even try. Kid Omega didn't even try. X-Force, even their Hellfire costumes suck. They didn't even try. Ugh, I hate them.
Anyway, someone did a fan art of Nanny's outfit.
Oh, yes.
Or is this
Work
real?
it.
They have Marvel on it.
No, there's no real.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's fan art.
Well, let's talk about some comics of what's actually going on. That's all leading up to the
Yes, we had
Hellfire
2 great
Gala.
books this week.
Let's start with Cable that is coming to a close. I think there's maybe one or two issues left, and it looks like they're basically leading up to a reset. They want to bring back old Cable and reset it back to the way it was.
Yeah, and his dad, Cyclops, is against that. And he's encouraging young Cable to stick around, join the X-Men.
Yeah. And I guess I'm still confused as how does time work in the 616 the same way it works in the MCU?
No, God, no. You kidding?
So is everything that has happened in stone?
Sure.
Because spoilers, we keep on seeing old Cable throughout the Cable comic, and he's in some future world. And the big twist at the end is they show that Cable pulling out the sword.
The Light of Galador.
The Light of
from
Galador.
the beginning of the run.
So then you're like, oh, wait, what?
Oh, it's young Cable's future.
But that's the thing.
Not young Cable's like present or past.
But that's what I mean is, but was young Cable's future still old Cable's future, or are they separated somehow? I'm just a little confused of how that works.
Welcome to Cable.
Or should I just let it go? Should I just go with it?
Listen, you know my answer every time we bring up logistics. Let it go.
Yeah, so it was interesting of like, oh, this is young Cable. This isn't the old Cable that we knew.
It's not like old Cable. Yeah.
So it is
it's so
very
confusing.
It's very interesting of like, because it only has like what 2 issues left before it's over.
Yeah.
So I'm interested of like how how is this going to reset? Because also Cable is part of Sword, so they would have to replace him with somebody as well.
I feel like we're gonna have young Cable to stay.
And I like young Cable.
Me too.
I like the idea of Jean and Cyclops and Rachel. Because I honestly like Rachel now that she's like, oh, Cable's my brother, you're my dad, I'm the daughter. Like having that, they've never had that dynamic before.
Yeah,
everyone
I like
was
it.
always the wrong age. And everyone's now finally at kind of like the right age where it's like they're our kids and they can be a family. I like it.
And they have a wonderful mommy and a wonderful stepmommy.
Emma.
Like, Emma is so Cable's stepmommy in this book. I love it.
Yeah.
I hope he's here to stay, and I hope he's actually... No, I like him on Sword. But I would also like him on the X-Men, I think.
Nepotism, once again, showing
Nepotism. Hello, Krakoa.
Cyclops is like, I'll just put you on the X-Men. Yeah, fuck that vote.
Oh, you can just cut in line anytime you die.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's
I'm
the
Cyclops.
same thing with that. They really need...
They need to stop it.
I do want them to really start addressing the cutsies, the people who cut in line.
Yeah.
Why does Pixie get to be raised? Because she just got killed for fun? Anyway. Is there anything else about Cable?
Well, what I really love about this book is the relationship between Cyclops and Cable. And what I also like is we're getting more and more Iraqi. First, we got Cora, the assassin in Sword, and now we've got the face-off twins, Castor and Pollux, in this.
Have they ever? Did we ever see them before?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And that's the thing now is we have these like Iraqi people where they're like, why do I have to give a shit about the other laws of the world and Earth? I don't know Earth's laws. I'm just going to do what I want. That's a problem.
I love that like the X-Men world now with the Iraqi, we now have that element of X-Men that was taken away from us for a little while when they went to Krakoa, which is random mutants out there in the world causing danger. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone's accounted for now. But now you've got all the Arakko, so you can have like rando mutants starting shit on Earth because they don't get Earth. I like it.
And that's the thing where I'm like, you guys need to figure this shit out, because that is like a fucking powder keg ready to explode.
Fuck.
Especially because there's more of them, and most of them are like Omega level. We just have all these Omega level mutants that don't know the rules of Earth and could just probably try to take over the world at any time.
Put them on Mars.
And especially anything they do is going to make Krakoa look bad.
Right, because they're mutants. Mutants.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Yeah. But I continue to love this book. I would be sad that it's ending, but the writer is going to write X-Men. It'll be fine.
Yes.
So speaking of New Mutants, how about New Mutants?
This was a good one.
Number 17. This was a good one. EvilJeff,
Also,
this was my favorite comic book of the year so far.
Really? I will say this.
So.
I will say this. Who would have thought, why is New Mutants the one exploring Otherworld and not Excalibur? It's very
Isn't that
weird.
crazy?
It is weird, but I love it. And I will say there is a problem. Can you guess what? You know how me and my logistics and continuity, what is the problem with this book? And I loved it, but there is a character that's not acting like right.
Is it about Moonstar's powers? Because I'm about to take the bridge.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Roma is acting like she's Roma's acting like she's never met a mutant before. I'm like, you fucking resurrected the X-Men. Like, why are you acting like, oh, you mutants, you weird witch breeds? I'm like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
Like, you need to she knows the X-Men and she knows mutants and she's cool with them. Like, you can't.
She should be like my babies.
Exactly. And I'm fine with her now being like, oh, well, now I'm all like carnal desires and everyone's sexy. I'm fine with that transformation. But let's still acknowledge that she knows who fucking the mutants are, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
But I love the fact that Karma and Mirage are off on this like adventure because they were put to death by Merlin, and the only way they could get out of it was by stealing this vase from Roma in her world.
Yes. She's like, and then when they get there, Roma's like, my father wants this thing? He could have just like asked for it.
Yeah. She's just like, fucking just take it. Whatever. You're stupid. But she's like, but you guys owe me a favor at any time I ask for it. And it's like, uh-oh. So that's going to come up later.
Yeah.
And then there's an interesting thing where there's a rabbit that they're following. And it looks like it's something that it's kind of going back to Dani's. They're really digging back into Dani just using her fear powers. But she's also manifesting. What exactly was this? I was a little confused of like, it's like she was they're like, why are you manifesting this? And she's like, I don't know. Am I manifesting this little bunny rabbit that we're following? What was it?
It kind of sort of comes out that the creepy presence that was bothering Karma
is her brother.
This rabbit is the manifestation of that.
Oh, okay. And so that is her brother.
Yeah.
I'm also curious, like, she still has her other younger siblings.
Yeah, the twins, right?
Are they on Krakoa then?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they are.
Because do you remember what their powers are?
I forget.
Remember when Betsy joined the X-Men, that New Mutants annual?
Yeah.
And and her two kids, and they were aged, and their powers were they could fuck with people's ages.
Yes.
And know what I just realized? Do you know what they would be good for? Tempos.
Resurrection protocols.
Tempo. You wouldn't need tempo. They could just use their powers together and age the
You mean Tempest? Yes.
Tempest, yeah. Yeah, for Resurrection, they could be a good replacement for Tempest.
That's great.
But they also might still be too young where their powers might not have even manifested yet. I don't know. But I'm interested. I want to see that. When was the whole brother thing, her battle with her brother? When did that happen?
It was recent. It was in the New Mutants, the Matthew Rosenberg.
Okay.
Was that Matthew Rosenberg? Yeah, the Dead Souls.
And then she absorbed him then.
Yeah.
And what is his powers?
I'm not sure. Something to do with dead people, ghosts, I think.
Now, so let's give away what I felt was a very fascinating thing that they've decided to do, which technically the Crucible is for if you are depowered, you can go to the Crucible, get killed, and then get resurrected.
Sure. With your powers.
And I feel like maybe you should ask and make sure you're allowed to do this first. But Karma has decided, and I've been wanting Karma to kill herself forever so she can get her goddamn leg back.
Get a leg.
But she's going to go to the Crucible with Danny. Danny's going to kill her, and she's going to be resurrected, but they're going to split up the absorbed brother and give him his own body back. Huh.
Okay.
Huh.
Best of luck. This ain't gonna work.
Oh, you think something bad is going to happen?
Yeah.
Speaking of bad things happening, we also see Farouk
with Wolfsbane.
With Wolfsbane.
Oh, no. He's like, who's the biggest sucker on the island? I know. Rain Sinclair.
Who's had it bad? Who else can I fuck with even more? Rain.
Yeah.
And he basically is telling her, like, she needs to be the leader because she understands pain. And she needs to use that pain to help
she
others.
can help these kids more than.
And it's all very, very like, oh, this is such good advice. But I'm like, I don't trust it for a second. Yeah. And then we see the group of people, which is the water boy. What's his name? Rain Boy, Cosmar, Aioli, garlic aioli, and Ernst. Wait. Martha. And all of them, and now I'm assuming like this thing that they're doing, is it because it's all of their powers combined? Is this their combined power thing?
Yeah, this is like their mutant circuitry thing.
So their mutant circuitry is that they can
Farouk taught it to them.
So at first I just thought he was doing it like, oh, this is a fun thing that I can do with anyone. But then I realized like, oh no, it's these specific ones.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is they needed they don't really have like the right body. They were trying it in a flower. And I think that's where Honey Badger, or what's she called now? Scout. I think she was kind of the body. And she was like, I'm out of here. So they don't really have a body to use.
They're like, come on, we can't. So this is my favorite storyline of this book.
And this one is where you get some fucking character development. Cosmar has already been told by Mirage. Cosmar's like, look, I'm fucking ugly. My powers fucked my face up. I want to be pretty again. And Mirage's like, no, you're mutant. You're beautiful the way you are. And she's like, fuck off.
Fuck you.
And it turns out, guess who also all feels that way? Weird looking Rainbow.
Anal.
Weird looking anal. And then I'm sure Martha is like, I want a fucking body. She's like, hello, don't I deserve a fucking body? She originally was in a body. If anyone deserves a resurrection, if Malice can get resurrected before Martha, someone just stab Martha in the head.
I would die to know what Martha looks like.
Well, she did have a body in what was the Hope Summers one?
Huh?
Remember the Hope Summers comic?
Oh yeah, the lights with the lights.
And there was that one like techno organic guy that looked like he looked like Akira, like the
yeah.
And then he kind of formed a body for Martha. For a while.
I want original Martha.
Yes. But all of them are dealing with the fact that Anole is still like, I want to get laid, I'm gay, I want to have gay sex, and nobody wants to fuck a lizard.
Except that one boy who was nice to you in Manhattan. Whatever.
Yeah. But I guess that didn't go well.
This whole storyline feels like teens experimenting with drugs, and it's getting out of hand.
But it's not. But it's also teens experimenting with drugs and plastic surgery.
Yeah, but no, like the whole thing is very addiction, and it's very the reasons for addiction to hide things you don't like about yourself. And
because that's the other thing is that everyone's talking about the mutant circuitry, that mutants can team up and create this amazing thing. We also have to realize at some point in these comics, they're going to find people that sync up and create something terrible and need to be separated and be like, you actually can't be together. Because when your powers combine, it creates something terrible.
Yeah.
Fenris.
I don't know the Blue Devil Kid's name, but I love his fate that he's going to stay off Krakoa,
and he's going to map, and he's like, I'll map Otherworld for you, and I'll visit once a month. Is that good enough?
And Danny is like, but you could die. He's like, yeah, I lived most of my life knowing that.
Yeah.
Like this whole we can't die thing, it's still pretty new, and I'm still okay with the fact that I'm going to die one day.
Yeah. And it just shows you how fucked Krakoa is with this resurrection shit. Like,
it's fucked.
Like, especially with Way of X, like they're bloodlusting. They kind of like the having the ability to live, to not die. It fucks with your head. And I will say, are they backing up anyone on Araco?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of hard drive.
Yeah. Interesting. This is because who's writing this? Is Vita writing this?
Yes.
Yeah, they're really hitting it out of the park with this.
They are such a smart writer. Oh my God. So smart, in fact, if I look at the data page that is the Warpath journal.
That's really great too.
Wolverine once told me that of all the people who threw him in a fastball special, I was the most mindful of his body and that I could, quote, toss him anytime.
He wants to fuck.
I love that we're fucking with Wolverine's sexuality.
Wolverine's basically like, hey, ever since I fucked with Cyclops, I need to get some more dick.
I think it's like, listen, ever since there was a bisexual version of me that was in love with Hercules,
we're
allowed to do this.
That's part of me.
Yeah. And then the whole Warlock thing.
Apparently,
I love the little window into Warlock's behavior.
Well, I think what's happening is Cypher is doing what everybody does once they get into a new relationship. They forget about their friends.
Forget about the best friend.
And poor Warlock is just wandering around being like, will you be my friend? Will you be my friend?
But he's like taking on the traits of other people, thinking that that's going to make other people like him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
He's trying to figure it out.
Been there.
Did you ever change yourself to be friends with somebody?
No.
I think the worst thing I ever did to be friends with people is I started smoking.
Oh, yeah. I was in the closet. That counts. I did pick up cigarette smoking to impress older kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
I went to the senior prom as a junior, and we went to the beach after, and it was like all the cool seniors, and I started smoking.
Do you still smoke?
No.
When did you quit?
I quit December of 2019.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, like
recent.
Prior to that, I was having like 2 a night. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Like it would take me
you
like
tapered it down pretty
over
good.
a week to but the very thought of it is disgusting to me now.
That's the crazy thing of like, I really felt when I was a full smoker, I was like, there's no way I will ever be able to quit. Mm-hmm. It can happen, people. Don't smoke. It
can happen. Just don't smoke. Okay. That was Krakoa. We've got other comic books to talk about, and I, for one, am very excited.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna stay in the world of Krakoa because this one we want to talk about.
That's right. Oh, we said we're going to do that one in this
references.
segment. Okay,
Yes.
so we're not moving on yet. We're still on Krakoa, kind of.
But we're in Avengers and Spider-Man Man-Thing.
Curse of the Man Thing.
Curse of the Man-Thing.
By Steve Orlando.
And
Gay writer.
The thing that's interesting about this is the bad
That's
guys.
his Marvel debut, by the way.
Oh,
this is
cool.
Steve Orlando's Marvel debut, who's a big DC writer.
The thing that's interesting is that he chose kind of the main bad guy is a protege of horticulture that's kind of gone
Their
rogue.
niece, their great niece. One of them's great niece.
Yeah.
I think the Dorothy's great niece. If we're going to use a Golden Girls analogy.
And she's kind of decided to kind of get into magic and sorcery, and they don't like that. They like science.
Yes.
And she basically has kind of like decided to rip off the form of Man-Thing and use the Man-Thing kind of whatever he's about to kind of create these weird plant things around the world to kind of just destroy humanity and start it over.
Well, that use the Man-Thing's power of he who knows fear burns at the touch of the Man-Thing. So anyone who is afraid will burn if they're touched by these Man-Thing giant growths that are happening all over the globe.
Yeah. And is it just like an emotional fire, or are these people really burning to death?
No, they're really burning. It's not like an emotional fire.
Yeah, it's very depressing. There's a lot of just like innocent people being like, "Oh, I'm scared," and then they just
I'm scared. Ah! Yeah.
Yeah, so that's depressing. But the thing is, they do mention, hey, we've noticed there's one's on Wakanda, one's in New York, one's here, and they're like,
one's on Krakoa.
One is on Krakoa, so you're like, we got horticulture and we got one on Krakoa, so let's get to it. So I'm skimming through it. Don't care. Man-Thing just isn't that interesting to me. So I felt like and I'm not even saying that the comic is bad or anything. I was just reading it to get to the
horticulture scenes. And
horticulture.
And like horticulture is not written nearly as fun as when Hickman writes them.
Yeah.
And are pretty minor characters. They will ultimately be the thing that helps take down the Harrower, their great niece, our villain, who is very one note. Like, we just meet her and she's like, my great aunts, I'm going to take over the world. And we're like, who the fuck is this bitch and why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And in the end, Man-Thing kind of regains control of himself. And this is at the end of the second of the Spider-Man one. Mm-hmm. And he regains control of himself. And who shows up? But Magic.
Magic. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because he basically was like, don't you understand? I made a deal with the devil to get the serum to work. And he kind of like rejects the thing that the devil gave him. I think like the thing that came out of his chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Ileana shows up. I'm like, are you telling me that you made a deal with Ileana?
Yeah, I want to see.
No.
I'm curious.
Or is she like the mouthpiece? Like, did you make a deal with Belasco or something?
That's what so I'm very curious of like, where is this? So I was like, now I'm intrigued. Hello, Magic.
Fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I would be very interested to see like all the X-Men, because the next one is X-Men like Curse of the Man.
Yeah, and that'll be the resolution. That's the last one.
So yay, that's fun.
Yeah, fun.
And different.
And different. Speaking of fun and different,
let's get faggy.
Let's get faggy.
Hit it. You gotta get a comic if you wanna get ahead. You can,
I want to be at a press conference with Kevin Feige of the MCU and be like, Mr. Faggy. And like pretend I like didn't know how to pronounce his name.
We decided to read 2 gay books. One is lesbian, written by a lesbian, and one is gay.
It's not written by a lesbian.
It's not written by a lesbian? I thought it was written by a woman.
No, I think it's written by a straight man.
No, it is not. Is it? Oh,
yes.
It's going to depress me.
I think so.
Thought it was a
I think
woman
Pat
wrote
Shand is a straight man, because I Googled him. And he actually... So the reason we read Destiny New York is our friend Cody, with a K, who is a YouTube reviewer, you know him as the Mutant Menace, tagged us on Twitter and was like, you boys would love this book. Need you to read this book. This book is from 2017 originally, and it keeps going after that.
I'm sorry, Pat Shand, that is a lesbian name.
Pat Shand is a lesbian name, but
I just saw Pat. I know, I believe you, but literally, I just saw Pat Shand, and I was like, "That's a lesbian." And then I'm reading this. I'm like, I'm so glad this like a lesbian is writing this and not a straight white man.
Can you believe that Rachel is dating Pat Strand? I'm like looking for evidence that Pat Shand is someone queer.
But I will say it was written, I believed a lesbian wrote it. It did not feel Very like, oh, I'm a girl.
Oh, so
let me,
yeah.
oh, my my nipples are supple. Can you touch them, other lady person? Like, it's not like that at all. But the thing that's amazing, it's kind of like, and it's the thing that I find amazing with, we're going to talk about Wynd by, what's his name? How do you say his name?
By James Tynion the Fourth.
James Tynion the Fourth, and then Destiny New York, or Destiny NY, and it's kind of like all of them, like there's a lot of the main characters are queer. It's one of those like ridiculous worlds where it's like anyone important that we're dealing with is a lesbian, and that's just how it's gonna be.
It's just how it is. It is queer is it's the norm. It's the accepted. It's not the exception.
So we're
going
to dive into two magic worlds. What do we want to start? Do we want to start with lesbians or do we want to start with gays?
Let's start with lesbians.
Okay. Lesbians. I only read the first issue. Brett is a bit further along, so I don't want you to spoil me yet.
Okay, well, what'd you think?
I loved it. And here is the thing that is very hard to do. And so many TV shows fuck it up. So many comics fuck it up. When you are creating a world that doesn't exist in like our world, you need to set it up fast. You need to set it up quick, and you need to keep my interest. And they just had a 2-page commercial for this college that basically set up like, oh, this is a world. It's the regular world we live in, except magic exists. And there's a college for all of the chosen ones. Anyone that had a destiny, like a psychic or a seer.
A prophecy.
Told them they had a prophecy about them. And this is a school for all those people to help reach their prophecies.
It's hilarious.
Brilliant.
It's
and
all these people who are like, what's your prophecy?
My
I'm destined to make the waters run throughout the plain again.
Yeah, like, hilarious.
It's so funny.
And basically the plot of this is these two high school girls become girlfriends.
Logan and Bailey.
And Logan's the main one.
And
Logan, she fulfills her prophecy.
She fulfilled her prophecy at age 13.
Yeah, at age 13. And so now
afterwards she's like, what the fuck do I do with my life?
What do I do? She's like kind of like it's just like she shot her wad. And then
meanwhile, her girlfriend Bailey, who she proposed to years ago, is getting married to a man.
Yeah.
In the present day.
Yeah, so it started in the past and then it cut to her proposing to her and then 7 years later. So this is like they've known each other since they were 14 and now they're adults and her fucking girlfriend
that was 7th grade.
Is getting married to a man. Oh, the audacity.
And then I think you saw this. Logan is walking along and a man starts to harass her.
And
like, hey, smile, baby.
And here comes a fucking hot bulldagger.
Well, her name is Lilith. Just to
Lilith.
Like the fair.
Lilith Fair. So Lilith comes along and is just like, oh, what, you just told her to smile? Fuck you, bitch. I don't think you need to fucking do this, blah, blah, blah. And then Logan's like, bitch, I don't need you to save me. And she's like, oh, I don't care about you. He was an asshole. Like, I just like to start fights. And I was like, okay, they're gonna fuck. But meanwhile, Logan, there's another girl who another lesbian, like a Latina lesbian, figured out her prophecy. And then
Gia's like, I figured out my prophecy. Yeah. And then she flashes back to the time her and Logan fucked.
Yeah. And then she's, so from the end of it, it looked like Logan's former lover, Gia, her prophecy, it might be about somehow destroying Lilith or has something to do with Lilith.
Yes,
so,
it's destroying Lilith.
Oh, it is destroying Lilith. It's like, oh shit. And the poor seer.
Great evil.
And the seer that it looks like he's in love with Gia too, but I think he's a man.
Yeah, he is. And something comes out about him later too.
But anyway, that's as far as I got. But I'm like, yeah, this is great. Yes.
It's great. And thank you so much, Cody, for recommending. Like, this is a listener who knows exactly what we would like. And he's like, it's this. You would like this.
Yeah. Lesbians with lesbian prophecies. Hello. Yes.
Hello. Lesbian soap opera with magic and prophecies. Thank you.
Now, I looked at it. It looks like there's like a volume 1 and then there's a summer special that just was released last summer. Is that the end of it?
Oh, there's volume 2 also.
Oh, volume 2. But then there's like a summer. I think the last thing released was a summer
That
special.
might be the last thing. Yeah, we gotta.
So I'm
we gotta
curious
catch up.
if it's over, because so the next one we could talk about is Wynd, WYND. Did you hear
Yes.
when volume 2 is coming out?
No, when?
In like 3 weeks. Hello, we chose the best time to read it.
Oh my God!
Isn't that insane?
Volume 1 comes out in 3 days. The Volume 1 collection.
Yeah, I think that's why, because volume 2 is about to be released.
Oh my God.
And it's been like a while. So we just happened to pick this up right as season 2 is about to come out.
So, EvilJeff, I have to tell you this. Like, a book like Curse of the Man Thing, I'm like flipping pages like, yeah. How many pages are left? Let me just get through this. I got to talk about it for the show. Destiny New York, I'm
riveted.
Engaged. I'm engrossed. Wynd, I am riveted.
Yes.
I am depressed that issue. I read all 5 issues that are out. I got upset that issue 6 wasn't out yet.
I only read the first 2, so I'm not finished yet. So you can't spoil
This is by James Tynion IV and Michael Dialanis.
And remember, I was like, hey, we just read Something is Killing the Children.
Yes.
And we were like, let's
read Wynd. It's the same author.
This dude has wrote other things, and if we're this jizzing over that, we'll probably jizz over his other shit. Oh yeah.
This book is so adorable and good and fun and engrossing.
It's simple,
and just so well told and simple.
It's
yes,
simple.
that is the word.
They set up the world so fast. You know what everything is about. It's not overly complicated, and then to add it, it's gay as fuck.
I could not believe. So Wynd, our main character, is young teen boy with pointy ears that he has to hide because they live in a world where magic, quote unquote, infected humans a while ago, and he lives in the last pure human community. No magic is allowed in. He was a baby found on a doorstep, and he is magic. That's why he has pointy ears, but nobody can know.
And he constantly is off hiding on his lunch breaks. He works at a canteen.
He works in a cute tavern, a diner.
And it's like, oh, where is he going? And then the cook is like, he's probably spying on his girlfriend. No, he is spying on basically Colossus.
The town hunk.
He looks like Colossus out of the Steel. This huge hunkity hunk. And it was
a total himbo.
Hello.
A beautiful himbo, big thick man.
But then we start going into Himbo's world. Himbo, he's a fucking faggot too.
He's gay too, and
he's
is
in love with the prince.
The nasty little prince, whose dad is the one who's pure humans only. All magic must be destroyed. It comes out that the dad's brother, the Duke,
is the one that is
in with magic.
And that's why he's been banished. And it looks like
he's been banished
because he's part of the magic world now and is actually helping the magic people. There's a rumor that they want to murder the prince so that he can, because the king is about to die, and if the prince is murdered, then the Duke can take over.
But it comes out, and
don't give me
a spoiler for you.
Yeah. Wait, you're going to tell me?
Yeah, the prince wants the Duke to take the throne.
Yeah, well, you can kind of tell.
So magic people aren't attacked.
You can tell that the prince is not down with what all of the shit the father wants. The prince is like, yeah, dad. Yeah, are you going to die? Drop dead.
I mean, there's such a queerness analogy happening here.
Oh, of course. Where it's you have to hide who you really are, and we're trying to keep everything pure and back to the way it used to be. And then there's all this new thing where people are finding out the magic is taking over people, and it's bad. Oh, it's definitely very gay. And clearly, I haven't gotten to this yet, but it just clearly you can tell the stepsister that was raised with the guy, they're going to escape. And then the prince and the gardener are going to escape. And I'm like, well, they're all going to clearly team up. And they're going to be chased by this mummy guy, the bandaged man who can smell magic.
Mm-hmm. So, all of these things happen.
Yeah. so he can smell me some magic. So I'm just like, it's just.
Wait till you find out why.
Okay, don't tell me. But I'm just going to tell you all, it's only 5 issues. The second season or the second run is coming out just in a couple of weeks. And read it. It's such an easy read.
Read it. It's so good. Like it reminds me of Saga a little bit. It's just like the characters are so clear and the world is so interesting and the stakes are so high.
It kind of also reminded me, especially the drawing and just the kind of cutesy world that they lived in. It reminded me of what was it called? It's the one where Scotty Young did that fairy tale world where that girl got stuck in the fairy tale land. I think it was Fairy Tale Land, maybe is what it was called.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It kind of it had
fairies,
that.
Fairy Tale Land?
Yeah. It kind of, just the look of it. It just reminded me of like that kind of world.
It's so good. It's my new favorite.
Yay. And that's the thing. So remember, because I will also say this, one of the people that listened to our show is the one that said, hey, did you read Horticulture and Curse of the Man Thing? And I was like, oh, hello. And then, so we're getting
recommended. Thank you, PJ.
So that's the thing is, listeners, please recommend stuff to us because we will read it. I mean, unless it sucks and then we won't. But we will.
And we can tell if it sucks, like, right away.
But if you see definitely something queer or X-Men related that we're missing, let us know.
Let us know.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, I'm going to finish reading it tonight.
Please do, because it's wonderful. It's wonderful. God, I love it so much. I'm going to get too worked up if I keep talking about Wynd. Can we move to television?
All right. Hit it.
Someone who'll watch superhero sci-fi stuff with me.
Speaking of, there is a little piece of news that I just remembered because we're going to be going into Prime. Amazon Prime show.
Yes.
Amazon Prime is sucking up a lot of comic stuff.
Like what?
And they are just cast Paper Girls.
Get out.
Yes, Paper Girls has been cast. So they're about to start filming it.
Who is it?
They did not release
just
who it was.
A bunch of girls.
I don't think. Yeah, but that's like Paper Girls is going to be like, it's the basically like Stranger Things, but with time travel.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So,
speaking of which, did you happen to see the pics of Iman Vellani as Ms. Marvel in her show?
Oh, I did. It looks so cute.
Oh, so cute. She looks so good. The costume accuracy in Phase 4. Mwah.
Great. Love it.
Okay.
But
TV.
But there is something else on Amazon that's comic book.
Wait.
Just what?
But before we talk about it, can I talk about Mortal Kombat?
Oh, okay, sure.
EvilJeff.
Mortal Kombat came out on HBO Max.
You have to watch it because Liu Kang and Kung Lao are like adorable boyfriends. They call
really?
each other they call each other cousin, but they're boyfriends. And it's the most adorable, magical thing. Both of them are hot as fuck. You really should watch Mortal Kombat
get killed?
Just for Liu. One of them does.
Oh, great.
One of them does.
But I also heard that there isn't a Mortal Kombat.
There is no Mortal Kombat, but there's a lot of fighting.
And then the main character is not a Mortal Kombat character.
No, and I thought the whole time we were leading up to the main character becoming Scorpion at the end, and that is not what happened. And I'm like, you guys, it would have been a much better movie if it turns out that Cole, this new character, is actually Scorpion.
Because did Scorpion show up at all?
Yeah, he's like he's like in the beginning, and you realize this dude is actually Scorpion. And then the new guy, Cole, is a descendant of that guy who like dies in the beginning thousands of years prior. And you're like, oh, Cole is going to like take the power of his ancestor and become Scorpion and take down Sub-Zero. I can't wait. Nope. Ancestor like comes back from the dead somehow and is like, I am Scorpion now. And I'm like, oh, it would have been much better if the guy we cared about was Scorpion.
You can't when you like telegraph something and then you don't follow through and then you realize, oh, they didn't telegraph it. I'm just a better writer than the writers who wrote this.
Yep.
Wait, who are the girls in Mortal Kombat?
Sonya Blade.
Okay, yeah.
And remember, from the original movie, Sonya Blade was Veronica Vaughn from Billy Madison. I forget her name.
Oh, yeah.
The actress. She's so much better than this Sonya Blade.
But who is the one, Sindel? Is she in it?
Sindel? Oh, I think I know who you mean.
She's like in like Mortal Kombat 3 or something. She's not.
Yeah. I don't think so.
What about Fan Lady?
Tara, Melina.
Who is the Fan Lady?
Melina. She's in it.
I love fans. I've been watching, as I said, I brought it up before, Word of Honor, that gay Chinese martial arts one.
Yeah.
The one guy, this is how gay he is. He's the leader of the demons. He's the leader of Ghost Valley, and he kills everybody with a fan. Mm-hmm. Like, when your power is a fan, you're basically like, he's like Kung Fu Karl Lagerfeld.
She doesn't use fans in the movie.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I know. The movie's not great. But Liu Kang and Kung Lao are so precious, and I love them. And they're a reason to watch the show, especially because they're so hot. And so is Louis Tan, the main guy. You know, he was Shatterstar.
Right.
In Deadpool 2. Anyway, okay.
Wait, is he also? He's not the guy that was in the Black Mirror episode.
The Black Mirror.
Where the two guys were having sex?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But I wonder if Liu Kang was.
Because for some reason I thought he was in the movie. Maybe not. Okay. Whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Let's talk about Invincible.
Let's talk about Invincible.
Invincible.
So it finished. Is it going to be season 1 or was that it?
Well, they just released, just like this week, it was announced that season 2 and 3 have been greenlit.
2 and 3?
Yeah. So apparently it did very well. And they greenlit it, and it's going to move on. And I will say this.
Okay, I'm so sorry. The guy who played the fighter in the video game is Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
In Black Mirror. The guy who played the fighter in the Black Mirror episode.
He's Shatterstar too, right?
No.
Or he's a different person.
It's a different person.
All right.
It's yes. It is not Louis Tan. It is Ludi Lin. Ludi Lin was in Black Mirror, and he is Liu Kang.
And he's hot as
And he is so hot.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Anyway.
Invincible.
It's renewed for 3 seasons. And I will say this. Here is my thing. I started off I was really lackluster. I was like, it's not getting the tone of everything right. But as I kept watching it, it's really just doing the comic. And so there's just the part of me is like, oh, they're doing the comic. And I was like, I think it's better. And then my boyfriend sat down. He's like, no, it's still awful. And walked away. And so I feel like I'm warming up to it. So I'm interested to see if you still hate it.
I kind of hate it.
Okay, that's fine.
You know why I hate it?
Why do you hate it?
It's so gross.
You don't like the
it's
super
so
violence.
Fucking gross. It's so gross. I don't like watching it.
And I will say that's in the comic. The comic is that.
Well, I hate it. I hate it. And I hate that Omni-Man is so fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Doesn't it is there any hope? Is any weak I hate the big fight. I hate that the relationship he said he didn't care about, he cared about a little bit, and that was enough to I don't think I like Invincible. I don't think I like it.
And I feel like I am because I just want to see that story on the page that I'm just happy enough. I'm like a battered wife where I'm like, this is good enough.
Yeah.
This is good enough for me.
Yeah, I just don't think it was executed very well.
Yeah.
And I blame Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And I think Seth Rogen showing up as some character at the end to have the big heart to heart, I was like, fuck you.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing is that is all in the comic. That he's one of the main characters in the comic, later on.
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing is I will say the first episode was honestly the most different pretty much everything else is following
Was verbatim.
exactly like the comic. And so for me, the thing that I have a problem with is more animation and acting. The actual content of it I like. So that's making
Young
me
is great.
He's great. He's
great.
And I will say finally at the end I felt like J.K. Simmons was finally like trying at least, but still not great.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I could see him like holding back, like reeling it in until the big reveal at the end. Maybe he reeled it in too much.
Yeah. But it's just I do like I guess for me, I am fascinated of how violent it is. Because I will say the violence in it, I will say I was saying it does get violent where they do show like gory shit, like that part where the immortal character gets ripped in half, like that happens in the comic. What does not happen in the comic is the subway murder scene.
Ugh,
that is fucking brutal. But I guess for me, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Like, I just kind of want to watch I want to watch reaction videos of people watching that scene for the first time.
Omni-Man makes no goddamn sense to me. And I think that's what I have a problem with.
And I think what happens to him afterwards, do you want me to tell you what happens in the comic to him?
Yeah.
He flies away, and that's the thing, is because he flies away, and that's never happened before, they start, new Viltrumites start, like, popping up. But then they're kind of like, where's Omni-Man? And it's, like, a long time later. And then we see that Omni-Man flew to a bug planet far away and took that over. And it just shows him, like, crying and drunken, and he's just like, I miss her. And so it's kind of him realizing, like, I was spending so much time I didn't actually realize, like, having a kid and getting married, I did actually fall in love, and I fucked everything up. And so now he's just, like, miserable because he feels guilty about everything that he did.
Yeah.
And he has another kid, and so then he has a brother, and the brother is amazing.
Oh, okay.
Because the cool thing, he fucks some bug girl, and because she's a bug girl and their lifespan is really short, the brother just ages really fast. So he's like, oh, it's a baby. Oh, shit, now he's 2. Uh-oh, now he's 4. Oh, now he's 6. Oh, shit, he has powers. Uh-oh. And so then the brother shows up, and he's like a really cool character.
Okay.
It's a really cool comic, but I will be interested. I wonder if you did read the comic, if you would have hated how violent it was.
I might have.
I think for me, I don't like violent, gory things, but because it's a cartoon, it's not gross to me. Like, if this was live action, but that's the thing is, The Boys is just that violent.
Yeah, that's true. I think, like, in the comic, I probably would have had less a reaction to it, but, like, watching it, my mood, and this is me watching Invincible. Ugh. Oh, God.
See, that's how my boyfriend is watching it. He's like, no, Jesus. Jeff, it's bad. And I'm like, I think it got better. And he's like, no, it didn't.
Yeah, I don't love it.
That's fine. And you know what? It's okay for people to have different opinions.
It is. And I understand it's an iconic milestone of a comic book. And maybe I'm seeing it, again, maybe the datedness of it.
But I will see in all of your critiques, I'm like, that's valid. Like, I'm not even like, no, it's not. I'm like, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you that.
And, like, part of me is like, why even bother with all of the Guardians of the Globe subplotting? I don't know. Ultimately, I was like, I guess I don't care about any of them.
Well, because I will say the Guardians of the Globe. Oh, the new Guardians of the Globe?
Yeah. Like, Robot Man's whole thing about getting turned into the kid. I'm like, I don't care.
I mean, they become super important later on. Robot does.
Yeah.
Because Robot and Monster Girl get sucked into that alien. You know the alien people that age really fast?
Yeah, yeah.
They get sucked into that world. And they come back. I'm just going to spoil this. They come back, And they're just
older,
and they're adults. Both of them are adults, and they're like, "Oh my god, you were cured!"
Good.
And she's like, "I'm
Good
cured."
for her.
And they're like together, and then they're very weird, and they're just like, "Why are you all so fucked up? We like did the timing of it, and like you were only gone probably for like." They were like, "How did you like you were gone for like 20 years? Like that's like." Or they something that was like, you were gone for 10 years. And they're like, why are you this fucked up? And finally she's like, we were gone for 800 years. And we were like, oh, basically it's kind of like the vault type of thing.
Yeah.
And that makes Robot kind of has gone insane. And then he becomes one of the main nemesises. Like he becomes one of the villains.
No shit, Robot becomes.
Yeah. But Adam, Eve, and Invincible, like they end up becoming part of the Guardians of the Globe, and then they're all together all the time for the most part.
Fun.
Anyway, but the brother is the best part. Honestly,
Jason
like when
Mantzoukas' voice annoys me.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I can understand that. The brother, when the brother shows up, like that's fucking. I fucking love the brother.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to tell me all about it.
Because the brother does like all of that gory shit. The brother is like 6 years old and just fucking like he just bashes someone's head in and like explodes.
I hate it.
And then they're just like, you can't do that. He's like, why? He was mean.
Damian Wayne.
All right. Well, what else? Is that it? Are we done?
I think that's it.
We're
oh my
done.
God.
We're done.
We're done, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Please go read Destiny, New York, and Wynd. And read the X-Men too.
Yeah, bitch.
But warning, those are comic books. And if you read comics, well, that makes you queer.
Goodbye.
Bye.